I believe so.
You're all set?
I think I am.
Finally.
Volume okay?
Yeah, everything looks good. We looking for focus. We can kind of see ourselves, and I've got I got a thing for controlling the little computer, and yeah, I guess if I had been smart, I could have set up the stuff to blend in the music, which should be starting in post, and our wonderful intro video to say good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Daily Cup of Genre, the Daily COG, the show where we talk about anything and everything in geek, pop culture, and whatever else we want to. It's brought to you by the good folks over at Grow Generation, where the pros do go to grow. Hi guys, I am Kyle Malone here without my normal co-host Manny, but I'm here with my life co-host, I guess. That's lame as fuck.
That is lame.
My wife Christine. Hi. How's it going, babe?
It's good.
Welcome back. You did the trailer reaction with us earlier in the week. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you dipped out because you didn't want to talk box office numbers.
It's boring. I'm sorry.
Box office is not. How is the box office boring? Like, I don't.
Just the way that people talk about it. It just feels like, because all I'm doing is listening. So it kind of is like being in school and just listening to a teacher, and it's just like eventually I'm going to zone out because it's like I'm done.
I guess. Anyways, I dig it. Both from just a film geek, because I like to see how different movies perform in different genres and whatnot, and movies I'm rooting for because I really like the IP or a writer director, but also in the business sense. Degrees don't mean crap, but I went to business school, so I have an interest in it, and that's the only reason it matters to ever really bring up in anything. I always hate people. Well, I went to school for that. Okay, if you're using it as an interest, sure. If you're using it to mean you're an expert, depending on the topic, it might not really matter. And in the amount of people that manage to do amazing things in business without ever opening a business, the pamphlet to a college, let alone go to business school. Obviously you don't have to have the degree, but I have the interest in it. So, and you don't, and that's fine. That's fine. It is.
Look, math and numbers. I liked math, but I liked to be able to solve a problem, not to hear numbers at me. So.
I get it.
Yes.
I get it.
Good.
You know what? We got to watch What If this morning. That was a lot of interesting.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, I'd say that. I'm glad that it's not real.
I don't want to give any spoilers away. But what did you get from the messaging? Because in a lot of the other ones, they try to show you something different than what you may have learned, or maybe not even necessarily a lesson for us, but a lesson for the characters in this movie in this episode. Things really play out the exact same way, but on a larger scale, because the players are different, and because the players are different, the scale of the situation can be grander, and but yeah, what did you think of it overall, and what did you kind of get out of it?
I liked it. I guess the thing that I noticed, of course, is that Tony Stark still has the same blind spot.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that leaves it vague enough. When you watch it, it'll make sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess that's about it. And just.
Well, kind of, because one of the things I think is interesting is there's a story about revenge and vengeance and what it does to us, and it's something they've already mentioned in the MCU, and to me that's the interesting part is they hit on this again, using the many of the same characters and same beats, just upping the ante, upping some of the shock value, if you will.
Yeah. I think another thing that can be said is don't give away your trust so easily. You know. Yeah, because that was one thing that was like, I'm watching it, I'm like, this is frustrating. Really?
Yeah.
So.
And sorry guys if we go in and out of focus. We're working with this camera here that most definitely. Come on, can you get the? Yeah, and can you get our faces now? Is unmanned. It's just us here. So yeah. Hopefully it'll catch up, and if it doesn't, feel free to not look at the screen. Listen. Anyways, what were we at? What if? The whole thing about revenge and vengeance and all of that really, it speaks a lot to today, because it's kind of, hold on. God damn. It's frustrating.
I noticed that it was working. So
it's frustrating because I can't process it that fast. Anyways, you in today's blah, 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 blah. One of the things that they kind of hit on big there is this idea of what vengeance can do to you, and what people that get positions of power should do with those positions. And again, it's something that they've already said, and then they just say it again. Like, I'm wondering who, what, where, because there's sure, Ryan Coogler's got his writing credits, Feige's got his producer credits. We know there's a lot of freedom that directors get. We know there's a lot of control that Marvel. It's a balancing act that they seem to do well with. So this message is there in Marvel for a reason. People in power need to do the right thing with it, and that even the best intentions, the wrong person with that power and those intentions can do real harm.
Yeah,
I like that, man. I dig it. I was very pleased with it. What do you think about the animation for the show, Christine? Because I still run into times that I can't stand it at all.
Yeah, like I'm looking at Killmonger and I'm like, why is your face so flushed? You got like pink cheeks and a pink nose, and
because of the way the lighting bounced off things and stuff.
I guess, but it's just like a little too pink, because Michael B. Jordan doesn't have, an issue with like rosacea or anything like that. So to me, it seemed a little too colorful.
Yeah, we were using your Dolby Vision settings, Disney. So what's I didn't notice that.
I did. I was just like, some
sunglasses?
What
was it? The sunglass? Were you?
No,
you weren't wearing them.
I brought it down.
Oh, okay.
Just to see, but from what I looked at, like some people just look a little too pink in places, and I don't know. It's like adding too much color to, I guess, give a little contrast. But to me, it just didn't look right.
Yeah, I didn't. As far as this animation has been concerned, I haven't cared for it at all. I think it worked pretty. Excuse me. I think it worked really good for Doctor Strange. But I hated it for the what if Earth lost its mightiest heroes or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Strongest defender. Whatever the title is. That one with Black Widow's hair, especially, I hated with a passion. I couldn't stand it.
I don't remember her hair. I guess it just wasn't that important to me. I don't know.
Guess I'm not sure. Anyways, I hope that it continues on. I can definitely tell that the show is building more and more towards something, just looking at the watcher.
Yeah.
And how things have, progressed with that character. And I really need to read up more on this camera. The color shift is bugging me, and I'm not even watching, but occasionally. Anyways,
I don't know.
And I it's going in a way that I kind of hoped it would, but I didn't think it would, and that makes me very, very, very happy. How have you enjoyed the series overall, babe?
It's good. I'm glad for the real timeline. Because it's like, no, this is terrible.
Yeah, definitely.
So
that's funny.
like not bad storytelling, but of course, like we're emotionally invested in a lot of these characters. So to see things change, and in a lot of times like in really bad ways, I'm glad that we have what we have.
Yeah, I get that. You know what else we have? What we do in the shadows. I wanted to bring the show up because you and I thoroughly love the show. Manny got into it a little bit later. He's all caught up. He's watched these first few episodes. He did an interview with the gentleman that plays Guillermo on the show. You can find that on the LRM YouTube channel. Please do hit subscribe and shares with some friends and family and all that good stuff. But I love the show. It hits on Thursdays. That'll be tomorrow.
Excited.
And yeah, I'm stoked about it. Manny said he was a little disappointed in what they're doing with Guillermo this season. I guess he expected him to immediately be ass kicking and stuff like that. But I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, no, because Guillermo still has the desire to become a vampire and
that's
stuff.
what he wants.
And I don't want to spoil any of the episodes that have come out. But how have you enjoyed his arc, given what happened last season and coming up? I like it.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I like when something happens, and because before he was like early on he was just kind of like really quiet and shy, but now it's like you can see more confidence in him, and like the way he looks at the camera, like I'm like I'm loving, like, yes. He's just more confident, a little more sassy, but still keeping that quiet, just with the look. Okay. But yeah, yeah, I don't want to spoil anything from this season, but like just the way, because I was about to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been enjoying it, and I'm wondering between the four who's gonna get the chair. And
I
have a theory, but I don't know if I should say it.
I don't know. I do know that it fits with Guillermo's character, what's been going on quite well. I too am excited to see more of his talents, but used in the right way, and there's been a couple good gags where he's gotten to use his talents, and it's worked quite well.
Yeah.
It's worked real well. Yeah, the overall idea of the movie, what we do in the shadows, I've never been a big fan of that. Not found mockumentary,
yeah,
but done in serial, like TV shows like Office and Modern Family. I didn't what was it that I was I like Spinal Tap, but that's short. Like I like a real short like a legit mockumentary movies style. I had always enjoyed. So what we do in the shadows, I got a kick out of that, and I wasn't sure whether or not it would the show would appeal to me, and it did in so many great ways. Because it doesn't feel so much like it doesn't feel like the Office to me. Like I get that it's similar, and I'm not trying to make excuses on. I always say I don't know why I like one thing that's similar to something else,
but not the other.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But this it worked, and maybe it's because I saw the movie what, a year or two before the show even came out. Maybe the show had been announced. I don't remember, but I dig it, man. And it's weird because it's not always my type of comedy, and it's not even necessary. And obviously, it's not American style comedy. It's Taika Waititi's mind, originally.
He's got a great mind.
Yes,
I love
he
his
does.
stuff.
Do you kind of get? I kind of get some Aussie / British humor still out of the show a lot, even though it's clearly being made for American audiences. Do you see some things like some Monty Python type flair into it? Because I do.
Oh, I haven't really noticed that.
Maybe Faulty Towers more like it, and some of those slapstick type stuff.
Yeah, like maybe just I'll go back and try to find that and see if I can see it, because to me it's just I can't help but see what's in front, where it's like you've got these vampires who are complete idiots and a familiar who does everything for them, and without him they would all be dead.
Yeah.
Except for maybe Colin. Speaking, he's one of my favorites, but like, who's your favorite character?
If it's not Guillermo, it's Colin.
Yeah.
Well, no, correction. It's Laszlo's alter ego. That is by far the best character.
Jackie Daytona.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, that was awesome.
I'm not gonna say the guest star because people, it is amazing to me, because even Manny, he didn't know about the cameo in the Jackie Daytona episode. The big star that appears in that episode. That's the other great thing about what we do in the shadows, though, is the fact that you get those cool cameos, those cool moments, those like the council scene
I love that,
in season 1. You're just like, oh my god, that, and remember when, but they're deep cuts, and that's one of the things that I've been hitting on the nostalgia goggles, and everyone freaking out over what Fox or Sony property is going to make it into the MCU, and I'm like, weren't you guys like five years ago hashtag give the rights back to Marvel, and now you're wanting all the things that you hated to come back, but I am open to deep cuts, and this provides a lot of that.
Yeah, I also like how because like when you watch some shows, when they go on for a while, they kind of forget little things that they had put in earlier, so then it's like kind of confusing later on. But like for example, how Nadja and Laszlo can't keep a familiar alive. They had in the clips that they put out before the show came out, one of the familiars, like they get a new one and he dies, and it's just like one of those, like, I'm glad y'all are remembering. So it's been good.
Yeah, absolutely. I cannot bring myself to finish the other show, though.
Oh God.
The other big show that we love and have been watching for a few years, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I know the final episodes are out on Hulu, I think, because there was only 8 episodes, right?
Yeah, it's been out.
It's out.
And yeah, I don't want to touch it either.
It was just, look, the seasons had good episodes. I think out of the 6 we've seen, I think half of them have been good. And then out of the 3 that haven't been as good, I think 2 of them had really good moments. I think there's only really been one dud of an episode somewhere in there. I remember watching
It's
the
the
whole
first one, I think.
It the I remember watching one and just being like, this is just not good. But it's just,
and even the ones that are good, they're still not on that level
of what we're
used
come to expect
with 99. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's like where like you understand what they're trying to do, why they're trying to do it, but you're not necessarily in support of it. you know.
Yeah.
And part of me feels like they're really doing a disservice to all the hard work and good messaging and stuff that Brooklyn Nine-Nine had done through its platform to the audiences, just to kind of see it end. And I don't necessarily know how each actor feels, because all of them seem to feel so positive about their characters and their roles and stuff in past interviews and things.
Yeah. I haven't watched any of those because I kind of like, after watching some of the episodes, it's just kind of like one of those, I just want to shelve it. I can't touch it right now.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if it's like, if that is what's happening. Not that I'm calling you a liar. But I'm wondering if it's like the last season. Stop. I wonder if it's like the last season of Game of Thrones, where it's kind of like they can't say, wow, this is utter shit.
Yeah.
But, you know, kind of like,
I don't know.
It's good.
Well,
I
I was saying in the past that they've had.
Oh, in the past.
That,
I thought you were talking about this season.
No, I'm kind of like wondering what the actors feel about the why their show and how their show is ending. And you know, it's all about what happened in the summer of 2020 and 2019, things in 2019 leading into stuff in 2020, and there's this cultural shift, and a lot of people felt, you know, certain shows show policing in too positive of a light, even though, you know, Brooklyn Nine-Nine had tackled, you know, things that are bad in this system. But I was wondering how because in the past the actors have spoken out about how proud they are of the show tackling those issues. So I'm wondering how they feel about basically being canceled for doing the thing that they're being, you know, others are asking be done, but without you. Like, you know.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then they took this season, and they have a really great message on the unions and the corruption of entrenched union leadership, entrenched city leadership, you know, contracts, protections, and then they piddle all over that messaging with some platitude to the Twitter sphere and a few 100,000 likes. I just don't get it, and I feel bad for any cast and crew that is proud of the show to have again a few 100,000 hearts on Twitter decide their fate versus the you know, hundreds of thousands to millions. I don't know what the actual ratings are that tune in on broadcast at night, but the millions that see it via streaming. Like, Twitter.
It's not good.
No. I just there's 7 billion people on the planet. Who gives a fuck about 250,000 hearts on Twitter?
Yeah.
Somebody tweets something, you know, oh, we don't like this, or we should cancel that, and it gets tweets and it goes viral, and you're like even 200,000 hearts, 500,000 hearts, even a million hearts, even in a world of 7 billion. Let's not even count that. Let's just go with the U.S. population. 1 million hearts worldwide in a company based in America, so it should be concerned mostly with the American population. 330 million people here. 1 million hearts on a tweet is gonna get you to. I don't get it. So
that's the thing. There's been so many things that have been canceled. Like those of you watching, can you name them all? I mean, you're gonna lose track, and then you're gonna forget about it, and there may be someone that'll bring it up, like, oh yeah, this happened, and then it's like, oh yeah, oh okay, yeah, that was a long time ago, and it wasn't that big a deal. Some things, of course, are a big deal. Others, it's just kind of like, you're mad about that? Okay.
Yeah, so. They're supposedly bringing cops back for some specials, and people are upset about it. So, it is what it is. We are dealing with this instant gratification world that is going to end up hurting us as consumers when we want this A class content in movies and TV shows, and streaming doesn't provide enough money for, subscription fees don't provide enough money for AAA content that we're used to, and people are gonna end up coping with that by asking for all these different standards and things, and Brooklyn Nine-Nine, how dare you try to show where cops can be better, where changes can and need to be made. How dare you shed a light on the issues? Like, sure, you could say we want you to take on the issues more often, and if you manage to do that and keep the heart and soul of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, absolutely.
Yeah,
but to cancel it because it's just like, oh, you can't show cops doing or being too much in a positive light right now. That's just garbage, people. That you're garbage for thinking that. Sorry. Yeah. Hit the thumbs down button. That's okay. If you think it's bad right now ever to show anybody that isn't an outright villain, you're never going to show villains of World War II as good guys. Don't be silly. But generally, if you're like, oh well, it's wrong to use, they exist. They're always going to exist in this world, and the more I don't want to get too political about it, but yeah, don't. But Brooklyn Nine-Nine was a great show, and I'm really sad to see always every time I sign on to Hulu, it's sitting there like, hey, see season 8, episode 7, and I'm just like,
nope.
I don't want to see how it ends. I just want to think that the 9-9 goes on about their daily lives.
Yeah, it just felt weird watching it, and even after the first episode, there's still things that just felt a little off. Terry feels off. Boyle feels off, and it's just like they don't even feel like the same characters.
Yeah, and the next episode's all about Boyles, so
yeah,
Boyles, that's funny. Anyways, what's not funny is the fact that we have to take a break for our sponsor, Grow Generation. It's serious business, both having sponsors and growing stuff.
Grow Generation, where the pros go to grow. Grow Generation is your one-stop shop for hydroponic grow supplies, product systems, and more. Grow Generation serves customers across the nation and carries a wide inventory of renowned cultivation brands. Go to www.growgeneration.com, where the pros go to grow.
Anyways, thank you guys for sponsoring the episode. We appreciate having that, and we would love for everyone to please go check out them. Well, if you're growing anything, and it's not just the greens. There's vegetables and herb gardens and plenty of flowers and shit that you guys could also be using them for. But yeah, other stuff is as well. Check them out, growgeneration.com. Christine, it's Wednesday, and that means it's like Wildcard Wednesdays or comic book days, and honestly, it's basically a wild card Wednesday because, well, there's not a lot of news right now. There's a crap ton of leaks. Oh my God. Stay off of the internet if you guys care about anything related to Spider-Man, Venom, Doctor Strange. Yeah.
So don't click on those. Got it. Won't do it.
You're in the wrong business.
I can cover something else. Just
yeah, you're right. I used to have that dream too when I first started here. Oh, I'll be able to avoid it. I won't have to listen to the spoilers. Cam will do it. Here I am later, and it's like, oh, I know all the plots to this movie and that movie, and I say no, and of course it's, there's nothing official, but there's enough dots to connect from what you hear or read, and then what you see in a trailer or a toy.
Yeah, that gets annoying.
Yeah, that you start realizing that some of these leaks are very, very likely legit. So no, it's not like LRM is necessarily sitting on a trove of information, but yeah. What do you think about people that what do you think about people that put that stuff out on Twitter? Because like back in the day, if we read something on the internet, you had chat rooms dedicated to discussing things like this. You have forums dedicated to discussing things like this, and you still do. But it's weird to see everyone now put it out on public platforms where it's not a Reddit thread or a forum or a chat room where people are specifically looking for that information. No, you're just John, from Boise, and you're hanging out, and you read this leak and you get excited and you post about it, and now everyone connected to you in 6 ways connected to them and 6 ways connected to them is now exposed to this potential spoiler. And like I said, guys, a lot out there for a lot of movies, ranging from the Batman to Eternals and Doc Strange, things related to Star Wars. I could tell you that there are a lot of overwhelmingly more than likely true leaks out there. Mm-hmm. Like legit. I can't say yes because I haven't seen the official films, but for all intents and purposes, guys, most of the movies coming out the rest of this year are fully leaked online via plots and stuff, not the movie itself.
I think that for some, it's like, they get excited to put information out there, not really knowing that, or not really caring that people don't want. Thank you. That people don't want to know. They want to be surprised. Mm-hmm. They want to find out when they sit in that theater chair. Nice going.
I'm used to sitting at this damn table.
So it's probably something like that, or it could be someone that actually gets sick pleasure from spoiling something. I don't know if any of y'all have ever had a friend who will spoil movies for you or something like that. Luckily I haven't had a friend like that, but I mean, I've heard of people like that where it's like, oh yeah, this happened in it, and you're just like, well, thanks. So I just wonder if it's like kind of like Colin Robinson.
Energy vampires.
Yeah, but instead of it being energy, it's your disappointment and like those kind of feelings, to where it's like, you're just sucking it up. You're like, yes, it's delicious.
I get it, because my friends and I, when we would read this stuff online in those forums, then we would go to the lunch table or during gym class or in between classes or whatever, and talk about it, and I get that Twitter is the modern day lunch table for grown-ups, but just think before you tweet. My goodness, like, and not only that, but people in I don't want to out which movies it was, but an official account for a movie connected via the foreign market. Okay, so the official account for a movie out of another country. Does that make sense? So
yes.
It's a U.S. movie, and you know how it's going to be in the U.K. It's okay. So they actually reached out to someone that made a tweet with a very, very specific phrase in it. And that phrase is a massive spoiler. Mm-hmm. And that official account said, hey, can we use your thing in marketing? Basically confirming to the world that key phrase is true.
Yeah.
And with that, you spoil so much. So it's not even necessarily John from Boise, you know, or whatever. Yeah, that's a town, right?
Yes, yeah. It's in Idaho.
Okay. Well, I get confused with Des Moines and Boise and the lettering at the end, and which one's, you know, shut up. I got brain damage. Where was I? See,
I don't even know.
It's not just John. It's things like that. It's someone in the in that slot of, hey, you send out the tweets for our account, right? And they're not tracking necessarily what is secret, what isn't secret, because so much shit has fucking leaked.
Yeah.
That this account may have. Now look, it might be part of the marketing plan, and it wasn't, and they mean it to leak, but I sure as hell don't think it should have been. And it's a sloppy move on the Twitter persons that asked, hey, first off, you should do that in a DM, not in the public, you know, Twitter thread, and two, fuck, God, look. Pay attention to what is allowed and not to be allowed, and it goes all the way back up to the tippy top with the people in charge of the studios and the movies involved. So control your people, and then regular Joes and Jills, I guess. Don't be assholes. God, your tweets get seen by more than just your followers, and yeah, it. I can't get mad for myself anymore, but for others I can, you know?
Yeah. Like, just, I don't know, if I was making a movie, I'd just be giving out fake shit left and right and just make it random. I'm like, I'm going to mess with the people who work with me so much. Your pain is my pleasure. You're not spoiling anything.
Well, let me ask you something, because you actually don't get bent out of shape for all spoilers.
True.
You know, there's things that you'll purposefully, you know, seek out and be like, yeah, I'm gonna hear about that. Why? Like,
I just get too curious. Something just seems really juicy, and it's like, okay, I've got to know.
And you would rather read a big reveal instead of seeing it on a screen.
Sometimes I just can't wait. I don't know. I get impatient. A lot of times I like to be surprised, but there's just some things where it takes hold of me so much to where I have to know.
I don't
But
get
I don't
that.
I don't share it.
That's like, I have no idea how that can be fulfilling, because every time something is spoiled for me, no matter how cool it is, even if it's something that I wanted desperately, I wanted to be surprised. I wanted to see the story. I want to see it unfold. I don't want to just find out on the back of a toy box. I don't want to find out scrolling through social media. It's heart wrenching to find out like that. So I don't know what it's like to just be like, oh, I can't wait. That's weird.
I'm a mystery.
You are, and so is everyone else that does that. Could you guys let me know, like, how is it fulfilling?
I don't know. It just is. I don't know. It's like, I don't know, just something just grabs a hold, like I said, and you're just like, I've got to know. And yeah, look it up and you're like, okay, I'm satisfied.
I don't get it.
I'll see it when it comes out.
I don't.
Just like lately, like a lot of things, or maybe not even lately, but like something lately that I've done is like looking up more clips of something and watching, like, sharing or seeing more, not sharing more, but like seeing more of what's going on instead of waiting. It's like, no, like what we do in the shadows. I've been watching all the clips that they put out.
Yeah, you watch every TV clip that comes out from the episode. Heck, if we're behind on something, you'll watch so many clips. You basically watch the whole thing before we see the show or movie.
Excuse you, some of the trailers show you the whole movie.
They do, and so Sony's awful at that. I can't stand how often they give away the
entire movie in one trailer. Just a few minutes, and it's like, I already know. What is it? Just the good parts from Robot Chicken?
Just the good stuff. Yeah.
Something like that.
I just, well, when it comes, I guess I'm such an old-fashioned story person that for me, preserving that, I guess you only get so many surprises in life. There's only so many chances to experience something for the first time. Mm-hmm. And once you get to a certain age, especially if you're lucky enough or successful in working hard enough to enjoy the freedom of movement and finances to do a lot of stuff by your 30s or 40s, and I'm not talking, excursions to, Norway, and I'm talking like you get to go to theme parks and movies. You experience a full middle class life, including the occasional exciting
big trip,
big or foreign or big trip. Once you do all of that, entertainment becomes only about the only firsts or exciting new experiences you can have. Even in a comic book movie where they're borrowing from a story that you've read in books, Marvel at least has done a really good job at changing some of the execution or layering in enough of a surprise moment that it's fresh, it's new. So I guess that's why I don't get it, because I'm desperately trying to hold on to or recapture the feeling of excitement, because adrenaline's great, but there's no greater adrenaline than combat, and I'm not glorifying it. That's just a fact. There's nothing in life much like almost dying for anyone, and not just combat. Literally, anytime your life is in that type of danger,
you'll never beat it.
There's no more adrenaline that can top that. So
I don't know, go into space, save up your money, and
well, that's putting your life in danger to a degree. But roller coasters and stuff, they're great and they're fun, and I have fun doing them. And I'm not saying that knowing what I know about many of these movies, when I go see them in theaters, I'm still gonna have fun. There's still things that I don't know, and the execution does matter, because it could be a brilliant idea executed like crap. Mm-hmm. And it could be the opposite. It could look like crap on paper, but be executed beautifully. So I can still have fun.
It's just not as thrilling.
But it's not as thrilling. But every time they add something to a roller coaster that is something new, putting the vehicles underneath and the track above, making it where you fly, you're back to the tracks, spinning cars, fire effects, 3D interaction, and all of that feeds into making roller coasters a new experience. But again, that's entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, after a certain point, what other firsts could we have other than, negative ones? Done
New foods. But, there's only so many.
It's kind of an entertainment if you're not eating for survival, right?
No one does that anymore.
Exactly. Well, there are.
Well, yeah, but
again, we're talking just general middle class America. I hate
no
that
one
I have
no
to
one's
point
like
shit
Captain
like
Holt
that out,
and wants to just eat,
Air.
yeah, pretty much.
Check out this air. Or what is that? C-Lab?
Yeah. Stimutax?
Stimutax.
Yeah.
I want to know.
I haven't eaten in days, but check out this air.
Love that. Yeah.
Don't do drugs. Let's just put that out there. If you touch certain ones, you will age like the stuff of children's nightmares. So maybe not.
Yeah. I think that's what it really is just I miss new experiences. I think that's why some of the nostalgia, fondness is coming off for me, because it's like, okay, I've had my fill. Like, I like deep cuts, like I said. There's certain things being renewed or for the first time rebooted that I'm like, okay, because it is its first time and it's something that's not been bled dry. But overall, I'm ready for some more newness in entertainment. So yeah. Anyways,
we're getting a little bit. I mean, like the way The Mandalorian was filmed was pretty cool, and the whatchamacallit, the place.
volume.
Yeah, the volume. Thank you. I was like, I know it's on the tip of my tongue. But yeah, so it's like, there's certain things you can look up to where it's like where the technology is getting exciting, and you freaking love technology.
Can someone get an idea through the studios that doesn't have a superhero, Star Wars, or Star Trek attached to its name?
I don't know, because for you, like, there's certain things that you're not interested in. You're not really a big fantasy guy.
I like it enough, but you're right.
It's not huge,
right.
For a lot of things, but
science
you
fiction,
could try to get into it.
Science fiction and is more than Star Wars, Trek, and superheroes. And I love dramas. I love horror, anime. We're huge. We've been watching all those horror movies this past week. We're doing our 2 months of Halloween. My wonderful anime collection's gonna switch places with my Ghostbusters collection, because that's kind of like in the shot for most of the podcasts here at the Genreverse Podcast Network by LRMonline.com, also available on YouTube. But yeah, we've been
horror section.
Yeah, that's why I'm gonna
put
the Ghostbusters over here in my
maybe bring the
Nightmare Before Christmas key, the Pumpkin King key. Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah. So where was watching the movies. That's been a lot of fun. And that's kind of cool too, because I get to show, over our years of marriage, I've been able to show you a lot of movies you missed out on because your parents weren't into that type of thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of fun horror movies that you never were, never exposed to. So.
Yeah, like Netflix has Midnight Mass, and then there was another thing that I covered that are coming out this year. So like we get some new and exciting, and I don't think you've been paying attention to that, so that'll be nice for you to have a surprise.
Yeah. And horror's one of those that, it's kind of funny because here I am talking about horror movies, and it's one of the number one offenders of repeat use, using the same tropes again and again, and to a point even that several movies like Scream have been made to make fun of the constant tropes in horror.
Yeah.
But it's those familiar classics that we've been, revisiting, but it's always, for me, it's the new ones that stand out, that take that trope or that old and do something unique with it.
Make it fresh. Like
Make
that's
it
what I was talking about
fresh,
with
yeah.
There's Someone Inside Your House.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Yep.
I told you about that.
Yep.
I was like,
So
trying to place it.
those always end up being the horror movies to get added to my watch list later on.
Like Happy Death Day was when we
yes.
watched that. Like yeah, that's going on the I'm watching regularly.
Yep. Absolutely.
Watching every year.
Absolutely. So yeah. Anyways, thanks for being on the show today, filling in
fun.
for Manny. I'll be honest with everyone, I don't know if we will be live tomorrow, and we might be looking at shifting the live day away from Thursday. It might end up being like Wednesday, but we'll keep you guys posted. If we are live, you guys will be notified via Twitter, so please do follow at LRM_exclusive and at the Genreverse. We're trying to spin that Twitter account up as well. Manny and I have social media information down below. I don't know if I'm gonna actually change the overlay. Probably not, because I'm lazy and I'm, it's just the way it is. Anyways, do please see our website, LRMonline.com, every day for all of your entertainment news, needs, and opinions. Please see the YouTube channel. If you're watching us on it right now, please hit the thumbs up or thumbs down. I'll take the hate click, and leave some comments below. Hit subscribe and the bell so you know when we post new content, including all the wonderful interviews that Manny, Gig, and Nancy do. They include, we just had Gerard Butler on. We also have a lot of Spanish language exclusive interviews. Most of them brought to you by Nancy. She is our lead on that. Manny's filled in on a few in recent weeks, so yeah, check all that out, and Gig, of course, been with us for a long time. And then on the podcast side, the Genreverse Podcast Network, we have the Marvel Multiverse Madness, which will be out tomorrow. Nick and I will be talking what if Killmonger saved Tony Stark, I think is the title. And we'll be covering that in depth. And then this week on Anime-Versal Reviews, Megalobox, the Cantina will be back. We'll be talking about things like how right Kyle is about the money left on the table by Lucasfilm with the EU, and then Breaking Geek Radio, the podcast, and a few others, guys, as well as the Daily COG every Monday through Friday. So yeah, check all that out. You have anything to say?
Just your Kyle is always right comment. I couldn't help but eye roll.
I feel so bad for you. Anyways, guys, thanks for listening, watching, all that good stuff. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.